How's it going, everybody? It's JDM Drifter, and for this week's video, I'm going to be reviewing the COBI Trabant 601 with Caravan. So this is now my fifth and last COBI set that I've got to review on my channel. I saved this one for last since this has the Caravan with more features and the most parts out of all of my other sets. At some point, I probably will get some more COBI sets to review, but for now, out of the ones that I have purchased off eBay, this is my last one. This is also my first COBI set that is not a similar car to the past four that I have reviewed. Even though the other four COBI sets that I have built are different models of cars from different brands, all of them have the similar boxy look. The only differences with my other COBI sets are mainly the front and rear of the car. This Trabant is a totally different car that looks nothing like any of the other ones. And this is also my first set to actually have a Caravan with it as well. At some point in the future, I'll probably get some more COBI sets to review. There's still a couple that's already been released I'd like to get, and every year they release a couple new models. Just like most of my other COBI sets, I did order this one off eBay from Poland. I've gotten all of my ones off eBay from the same seller, which is COBI Koski. I can put a link to his eBay page in the description. The ones I got off eBay from Poland were packed very well with fast shipping. And just like all my other COBI sets I've reviewed, I will be doing a speed build and review of this Trabant 601. And at the end of the video, I will put this on the turntable as well as compare it to some of my other COBI sets. But before we open this up, let's go and take a look at the box. This box is definitely bigger than most of them. This box is about the size of 4 of the normal COBI boxes together. Up here on the top of the box is the COBI logo, as well as it says the name of the car, which is the Trabant 601 with Caravan. Down here at the bottom of the box, it does say that this car is 1/35th scale and a part of the Youngtimer collection. And this set does have 218 pieces. This definitely has more pieces than any of my other COBI sets. The most pieces any of my other sets have had was 98 pieces, and that was the lot of 2103. And the set code here is 24590. Here on the side of the box, it shows the length, width, and height of the Trabant and the Caravan in centimeters. And just like the rest of the sets, it does say here that this is pad printed with no stickers. Here on the other side of the box, it does say that this is from Series 1 of 2021 and that this set is made in Europe. If you don't know, all COBI sets are actually made in Poland. None of their parts are made in China or anywhere else. Here on the top of the box is COBI's website, and it says that this is an official licensed product from Trabant. And here's the scan code here for more information about the Trabant 601. Here's the back of the box with a rear view of the car as well as some information about the Trabant 601 as well. It also does show here on the box that the roof of the camper is removable so you can look inside, as well as the side door does open. So it's pretty cool that this set does have some features. None of the other cars have had any working features. And down here it shows that the Trabant 601 was made from 1964 to 1990 in East Germany. The max speed was 100 kilometers per hour and this car weighed 615 kilograms. This car originally had 23 horsepower, and from 1968 and on, it had 26 horsepower. The engine capacity was 594-5 centimeters and had a number of 4 seats. Since this car only has 2 headlights, it does not have the glow-in-the-dark headlight feature. But one thing it looks like that this set doesn't have that all my other COBI sets did is the brick with the name of the car on it. Unless they're just not showing it here on the box, most of the other COBI sets have a brick that shows the name of the car. Hopefully the brick's just inside and they didn't show it here on the front of the box, but I don't think this set will have it. So now I'm going to go ahead and open this up so I can sort and check out some of the parts that this car comes with. Okay, so here are all the parts out of the box. This set has 9 bags total instead of 5 bags like all my other COBI sets. And just like the rest of my COBI sets, none of the bags are numbered. And as you can see, they mix parts from the Trabant with the parts from the Caravan. It doesn't appear that COBI numbers or sorts any of their parts. Here's also the instruction booklet that comes with the car. It says again here on the instructions that all the parts are pad printed with no stickers and that the instructions here are printed in Europe. It does say again here that this is a officially licensed product from Trabant. None of my other COBI sets said that they were official licensed products on the box or the instructions. And as you can see, they've added kind of a new design to the instructions for their 2021 sets. And here on the back of the instructions, it shows some other cars that are in the Youngtimer collection. There's the Fiat 595 Abarth, the Fiat 500 Abarth, the Wartburg 353 Taxi, the Barca's Pickup, the Barca's Police Van, and the Barca's Fire Chief Van. At some point, I definitely want to get the Barca's B1000 Pickup. That's one of the main COBI sets that I'm still wanting for my collection. And unlike all my other normal instruction booklets, it usually gives you a parts list and shows some more cars from the Youngtimer collection in the instructions. This set has no parts list or a list of any other cars that they make. And the instruction size for this set is definitely bigger than all the other ones. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and open up all the parts and get everything sorted. Okay, so here's all the parts now opened up and sorted. I didn't record the sorting for this set since there was a lot of pieces, but there are some cool pieces that I noticed. First up here is this little pillow piece that you get as well for the camper. That's a pretty cool piece, definitely different than Lego. Here's also the custom front and back pieces with printed detail for the Trabant, as well as this set even has the curtains printed onto the windows for the caravan. There's also the door to the caravan with the printed door handle and vent here at the bottom. This car also does have chrome bumpers and steelies as well as rubber tires, just like all the other COBI sets. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do a full speed build of the Trabant and the caravan. Okay, so here's the Trabant with caravan, fully built. This set took me about 45 minutes to build, unlike most of my other COBI sets, took about 15 minutes. I really like how this set came out. The Trabant came out to be a lot smaller than what I expected it to be, so luckily I got this set together with the caravan. The caravan was a really fun set to build. I think one of the best builds out of all these COBI sets. Out of all 5 COBI sets I have built now, this one was definitely one of the funnest to build. Besides, I do like some of the other cars like the Lada 2101 better than the Trabant. COBI does 2 other caravan sets as well, the Fiat 126P and the Wartburg 353 Tourist, and everything seemed to fit together pretty well with no missing parts. This set did not have a name brick come with it as well, but unlike any of the other sets, this did have a few spare parts. This set had 1 spare door handle and 2 clips to hold up the caravan spare. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my other tripod so we can get an up-close look at this set. Okay, so here is now an up-close look at the Trabant. Out of all my COBI sets, this and the Lada 2101 are my top 2 sets. This is my first Trabant that I have built, but this is also my second car I have built in yellow. The Lada 2103 was yellow as well. COBI does do a few other Trabants as well. They do a Fire Chief Trabant, an Army Trabant, and even a Police Trabant. First up, let's take an up-close look at the Trabant 601. So this set definitely does use some different pieces than the other ones. Here for the hood, it is 2 slope bricks with the Trabant logo printed in the middle, as well as these rounded pieces here for the side fenders. This is also my first COBI set to have 2 mirrors, one on the driver's and passenger side. The printing on the pillars does seem to match the yellow bricks pretty well. They are a little bit lighter, but sometimes it can be hard to match. This is definitely a cute little car, but there's a few things that I don't really like about this. Inside of the interior, the floor pans aren't just black, you can see some of the yellow as well. And the set did not have hubcaps, which the majority of Trabants in real life didn't either, but I think it looks better to cover up the axle ends. Also, this car is so little, the steering wheel almost looks like it's in the middle, but it is on the left-hand side. This car does have the normal curved tile pieces here for the roof, as well as a light brown interior. This does at least have silver steelies, as well as silver bumpers for the front and back, as well as all the printing and trim around the windows, as well as front grille, turn signal, and headlight detail. This car even has taillight detail with a Trabant 601 license plate. Of course, this does roll very smooth with the rubber tires, and even has the tow hitch here hooked up underneath the axle. And here's the main part of this build, the caravan. So the 2 of the extra pieces that were included was this little stand here. It doesn't seem to really balance that well, it just seems to tip over, but this is supposed to be a little stand to hold up the camper. And when you are rolling it around, you can lift this piece up as well. Here's also the ball joint here in the front, so you can attach the hitch from the Trabant to the caravan. There's 2 things I'm not really impressed with about this caravan. Some of the gray here from the decals on the door seem to have gotten smeared onto the part, and this will not come off. As well as the back window here is actually fake. The curtains and window is just printed on here to this sloped brick. But overall, the build of this caravan was really good, and it even has a little bit of weight to it. The door handle here and this vent here on the bottom of the door are printed on, as well as the curtains on both sides of the windows are also printed, as well as this fake back window. This does have a license plate printed that says RMA 7-28, as well as some circular clear round tiles here to do the turn signals and taillights. This does share the same silver steely with rubber tires the Trabant, but this does have a white hubcap for the center. The door does open up with this hinge, and there are some tiles and the door handle here on the inside. And most of the roof here is actually detachable, so you can take a look inside. There's the bed using the pillow piece and the tan curved tiles, as well as up to the front here, there's just a little chair. There's not much detail to this, but at least you can actually look inside here, and maybe you could put a minifigure in it. Now to hook the Trabant up to the caravan, you just align the hitch here with the ball joint, and then it hooks right up. And everything does seem to stay connected well and turn. So the Trabant 601 was produced by VEB Motors in Germany and was the 3rd generation of Trabants. The Trabant 601 is one of the most well-known and popular Trabants since it had the longest production run out of any other model. The Trabant 601 was produced from 1963 to 1990 and is one of the best-known Trabant models that was ever produced. These cars are known as Trabant or Trabis as well. Also, these cars had a 594cc 2-stroke motor. It is one of the smallest motors you could possibly ever put into a car. These cars were very slow and had very bad emissions. As well as the Trabant 601 was a standard 4-speed manual transmission. In total, there were 4 different models of the Trabant made throughout the full production. The Trabant series started production in 1957 all the way to 1991. All the Trabant models were the 500, the 600, the 601, and the 1.1. And all of the Trabants had a 2-stroke motor until the last ever model of the Trabant, which was the Trabant 1.1. The Trabant 1.1 was made from 1990 to 1991 and had a 4-stroke motor. I can put a picture up on the screen of what a real Trabant 601 looks like. There were 3 different body types of the Trabants as well. There was also a Trabant Combi, which was a 3-door hatchback, but the most common model was just this regular 2-door hardtop Trabant like this one. And one of the rarest models of the Trabant was the military Trabant, which was also known as the Kubelwagen. COBI also does a set of that style Trabant as well. That version of the Trabant had no doors or no roof. All of the Trabants were front-engine, front-wheel drive cars. And throughout total production, there were 3.7 million produced. All the 2-stroke motors that were made for the Trabants were all made by VEB Motors as well. And for the last Trabant model, which was the Trabant 1.1, the 4-stroke motor that was in that car was made by Volkswagen. All the other Trabants from 1957 to 1990 were produced in East Germany. By the time of the last Trabant model, which was the 1.1, Germany was no longer separated by East or West Germany. And the Trabant was made out of pretty odd materials as well. Just like most other cars, the Trabant just had a steel unibody, but the roof, trunk, hood, fenders, and doors were made of something called Duraplast. Duraplast was a type of hard plastic made from recycled cotton waste. So that is definitely a pretty odd, cheap material used to make these cars. That's why these cars did not last very well and had very bad panel fitment. And before I put this on the turntable, I wanted to show the only other Trabant that I have in my collection. This is a very rare and very odd piece I was actually able to find from the United States on eBay. This is also a Trabant 601 made by a die-cast toy company called Vitesse. I can't find much info online of the Vitesse brand or this Trabant itself, but what I think the most odd thing about this die-cast Trabant is that this car is actually made in Portugal. I have no other die-cast or anything that's actually made in Portugal in my collection, so I thought that this is definitely a very odd piece. I did get this car brand new in the box as well, but in shipping the box came crushed, so I ended up just displaying it here loose. The body of the car is die-cast and painted with this nice thick orange paint, but what is another strange part about this die-cast is the base is actually tin. This car has gray steelies with rubber tires as well as clear plastic headlight inserts, as well as front and back details. But either way, this is definitely a really cool, rare Trabant to have in my collection. Again, I'm not actually sure when this car is made. It looks fairly new, as well as the majority of these are still in the box, so I don't think it's something that rare. There's a few different packaging variations of these as well, even some in acrylic display cases. But from the set that this car came in, there was also a green, white, and blue variation. Also, COBI, for their new 2021 collection, will also be coming out with a blue 1/12 scale Trabant as well. That's definitely a set I would like to get and review in the future. And since this is a totally different car than all the other ones, I have no need to compare it to all of them, but I did just want to compare the sizing here of the Trabant to a normal size COBI car. As you can see, the Trabant is a noticeable amount smaller, but the Lada 2103 does still seem to be scale with the Caravan, and the yellow bricks seem to be the identical color, as well as the wheels on the Trabant are actually a smaller size than what's on the Lada. And as you can see here, the bumpers on the Trabant are definitely a lot shorter than the Ladas, but one piece that does seem to be the same is actually the side view mirrors. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put this on the turntable, and that'll be about it for this video. Okay, so that is about all for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, please check out my other most recent video on the COBI Lada 2101. This is definitely a very nice set, fun to build with a good amount of pieces and some cool features. And if you're not already, please follow my Instagram. It is itsjdmdrifter. I can put it in the description as well. So please comment, like, and subscribe, and look forward for more videos, and I will see you next time.